So what's going on, you guys? It's Tony and Letty at Casa Esmeralda, and today, as I said before, I'm doing some canning, and I want to make some jam because I have pears and I have the last of the apricots. So let's go here a little bit. As you can see, I got pears. These are the nice supermarket kind pears. These are the organic ones that I grow. I grow about 3 different varieties of pears, and then these are the non-supermarket kind, and these are the edible ones, and these are still the organic, and these are the wild ones, and then these are the organic wild ones which grow on my property. And even though they look really ugly and everything, these are the best canning pears. These pears are strictly for canning, and they go really good, and I really enjoyed eating these ones. I'm gonna try canning these ones. These ones are more of the eating pears, and they're like not really totally ripe, but they're pretty good. So I'm gonna try canning them, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up this one and this one and this one. So I'm gonna do like a mashup, and that, and then the last of my apricots from my farm here. So that's so the last of my apricots, which I really want to get rid of. And so we're gonna start cooking this up. I got my glass jars. I wanted to buy the mason jars, which I had before. I'm all out of those ones, as I did can before. So these ones are great, and these ones have prior the tomato sauce in them, and they cost 48 cents each for with the tomato sauce. So I just wash them out, and what's great about these is that if you heat these up to 80 degrees, and then you put like 80 degrees or more canning material or like fruit that's ready, so hot fruit, what will happen with the lid is that it'll go down and it'll do a vacuum seal. So these ones are designed to do a vacuum seal, which is perfectly fine for actually canning in itself. So I'm gonna do that, and then I got some sugar. I got some canning stuff today to making the jam, which I want to get on to doing, and we'll see. Okay, and I got some spring water here, which is ready, and then I got the pressure cooker, which is here, and it has about that much water and that much water, and I added about a half a cup of vinegar to it. So there we go. So we put the pressure cooker on. We're going to turn this guy off temporarily. We're going to get some glass jars here now. So get some glass jars and fill each and every one up with just a little bit of vinegar water. And these ones are actually from the last time I made the video, and they were just, I emptied the water out. So anyways, I'm going to put this down, and then this will be a very long video, and you can actually watch me do some canning here with some fruit and stuff. And oh, and I had this here, which is the glue wine, or is the Austrian mulled wine mix, and this is like a tea, but it has the ingredients to it, and it has the orange rind, and it has the nelken, which is like the anise, and then it has the cinnamon. So this is very good. So I'm going to do also a Christmas, I'm going to do a few jars of a Christmas blend of mulled wine, mulled spice fruit for dead winter, and then this is really comfort food. So you can heat it up with a meal, like you can heat it up like cooked apples or like cooked pears or something on the side with your meal, or you can have it on as a compote or something like that. So this is all stuff that I like to do. And then today I'm using this from Canada. which is the Siraj Indian, and I love this one. This is the one that I've used before, and also my grandmother when she was in Canada, and we did some canning together when I was a teenager. We used this one, and then I've used this one ever since. So, well, I didn't do canning for a long time, and then when I moved here and when I lived in Austria, I did this. So, and then this one, it has the coriander seed, the yellow mustard seed, cracked black pepper, whole ground chilies, dill seed, allspice, cloves. So actually, this one has the cloves in it, the cinnamon, and the allspice. It doesn't have the anise. That's what cloves, whole black pepper, bay leaf, cinnamon, celery seed, and canola oil. So you want to have always a little bit of oil with something when you're cooking. And I'm cooking on my titanium pot today. So I want to get these jars in. And these are from last time, and I'm looking in them, they're super clean. So, which is really nice. So we'll get those ones in. And I want to get the apricots out of the way. I want to get the jam out of the way. Do that first. Oh, that's hot, hot, hot. Get this guy out of the way here too. Oh, and I went to town, so I haven't been to town in like a week and a half. And yes, I did stock up, and I went and got some gloves. So I'm going to get that right now. Kind of doing this video today after the gong show because those wild Burmese mountain dogs and some of the wild dogs actually woke up from their siesta. I actually had a nice siesta today too. So it was all cool. And everybody seems to be waking up. I got gloves this time. So it's really cool if you can use gloves and that it's more sterile. Just try to get yourself really sterile and clean. I got my cooking hat on, right, my grill hat. So I want to get myself up to steam. We're up to speed here. And just add a little bit of this vinegar water to each and every one. And it's okay if the paper falls off. I hope I have enough lids today. Want to steam clean and sterilize all your jars. And then if your jars are all steam cleaned and sterilized, and especially your pots, then you're doing okay. So see if I can make this like that. I just made my screen bigger, that's all. So I'm on there, right? Yeah, I am. It's like, oh, there we go. Okay, really cool stuff. Okay. So I got my lids, my tops. I got more jars right here. I got lids. Let's go see if I can get a cup here and got some vinegar water. Oop. So these are 720 mil, which is really okay. It will work. Put those in there. I got some more vinegar water in that one. see if these guys all fit. Kind of economical because with the mason jars, it's also, let's see, the mason. Will you fit in there or not? That is the question. Nope. So I can only get just pour a little bit more vinegar water in each and every one of them. Pour it on the rims, around the edges. Okay, there we go. And steam cleaning goes on. Get the steam cleaning going. Get your glass all sterilized. I think on the mason ones, which is, these are like the mason ones, right? Or the ball or pear. I think these are no more than a liter. I think these are like, they could be 800 or something like that, and those are 720. So you can only put like, I think 4 or 5 in that one, which is great. So I put more than that. So this, you can get possibly more food going and can more food. So now I gotta make the fruit, and I really want to get onto these ripe apricots here, because the ants are gonna come for sure if it's super ripe, and these are like overripe. But these are the ones that you want to get if you're gonna do marmalade or jam or anything like that. And then they've been sweetened. So I'm just gonna add those ones. Get my, hopefully, nope, there's no ants here yet. But I want to get rid of them. And I want to can it as soon as possible. Because where I live, it's not fun actually. So, okay, so these are like kind of mushed fruit. And since I got my gloves, I can just use my hands now as a knife, and I don't have to really use a knife here or anything like that. I just kind of crack things open and, right, so. You want to go through, if it's overripe, if it's overripe or just like on the really ripe end of things, you actually want to go through it, because the last thing you want is to have bugs in your fruit. But I know the ants have been through this. I couldn't stop eating these on the way here, and I said, well, if I don't stop eating them, then these are the last of the apricots, and I won't have any jam for the winter time. Canning is a long process, so this will be a long video. I'm expecting a couple hours today. If you don't want to watch the entire video, you can kind of fast forward or do whatever you like. But I appreciate for those who have liked and subscribed to my videos. So, and I love making the videos too. So there we go. So when you're making jam, you don't want to have the seeds in them. You want to take the seeds out. And the way you do this, if it's overripe too, so you may actually you may actually have some bugs or something, so you ground them. That's what you do. Get a big bucket like this. Get a very large bucket like this, and then put the overripe fruit in this bucket, and let the bucket sit for like 5-10 minutes with the fruit inside. And what will happen is you'll drown the bugs. So. Oh no, those wild dogs are back here again, but at least I got 4 now. Bruno's running right now with the other dogs. He's learning to run with Giuseppe and Simona and Letty. So I'm in pretty good hands here with 4 dogs. I don't have to worry about one dog getting hurt or something. If I had 2 dogs or 3, I think one dog's going to get hurt with those big dogs. Kind of live out in the countryside, there's nothing you can do. If you have big dogs or wild dogs around, the wild dogs, they just seem to come and go. Normally the farmers, what they do is if they have a dead animal or something like that, they just leave the dead animal, the rotting animal out, and then the wild dog will eat it, and he'll pick up a parasite, and then he'll die because he hasn't been treated. So then some other wild dog comes along and takes his place. It's all the cycle of nature. So as you can see, I'm cracking all these ones in half, and I'm just inspecting them, right? Because you don't want to, I kind of made a pick choice. I'm kind of really picky. I know, like, I've been picking fruit here now for quite a bit, and you get in the gist of things on which fruit is actually still edible and not edible, and then you kind of eat a piece of fruit from every tray. So. What I do for here is I get for my countertop is I get hemp soap and neem oil, and it's very effective. So I had last year a big breakout. It was not very fun. Right here at my doorstep, and I was spraying neem oil and hemp soap, organic hemp soap, for a month, and then that keeps all the bugs out. I don't like to use chemicals and things like that, because the bugs actually become resistant to the chemicals. They don't become resistant to the neem oil. And neem, you can find it online. You can get it on Amazon, and it's very effective. And I've seen people, it says, I used it, it didn't work. How many times did you use it? Oh, I used it only a couple times. No, with neem oil, you have to spray like twice a day, or when you see the ants are out and they're coming back, you keep spraying. You keep spraying at them and spraying, because they take that neem oil back to their nest. And to them, the neem oil is like, it's like eating salt. It's like eating the worst food you've ever eaten, and you just want to puke up all your food, right? Yeah, neem oil to ants and to bugs, and hemp soap, they don't like that at all. Makes them want to puke, actually. Regurgitate. Anyways, back to this canning, which I have to get out of the way, and then I can get on to doing some other stuff around here in my garden. So on this countertop too, I spray a little bit of neem oil and hemp soap to clean it and wash it down. And the hemp soap works very well to clean, and it's not really chemical free. And the other way to get rid of ants is actually chickens. If you have ants in and around or in front of your house, you can get a chicken, and a chicken will eat about 60, it'll eat about anywhere between 30 and 60 ants in a minute. So you go figure that. It's another way of, because I have like trees and stuff that have ant problems, and then I just put a little bit of feed, of chicken feed by the tree, and the ants eat the feed and the chickens eat the ants and too. It's all part of the cycle of nature. So the chickens are another way of getting rid of ants. These are all clean towels. I washed these yesterday with bleach, of course. So I do use bleach on some things. So I'm going to get a little bit of cinnamon going here. And I'm going to get a little bit of cold spice in here. So a handful of this. Maybe a little more. And I want to get some sugar. I got lots of sugar. Lots of sugar. Lots of sugar. Lots of sugar. So there's no ants. I don't see any ants, which is a good sign. And some spring water. And you want to drench this with some spring water and just dose it and wash all the spice, the pickling spice, the cinnamon, and the sugar down. And then fill it up about 3/4 of the way, which it is now. You get your burners going. This one's here, this one's nice. These are nice and sterilizing again. And cooking goods, I didn't use the last time. Hopefully I don't run out of gas today. Oh, it looks like I'm going to run out of gas on this one. I hope not. Anyways. If I can do this candy run and still have enough gas, I'll be very happy. But I have, where I live, I always have another backup supply, 2-3 things, so I'm not going to run out of gas. It's just, I'm hoping to do this candy run on this one bottle of gas over here. And this is the really good, this is my own extra virgin olive oil, which I harvest and cultivate. And this is the select variety. And I just want to add just a teaspoon of oil. That's all. That's a really good olive oil. I really like these olives here. And that's my own special olive oil, extra virgin olive oil for cooking. So the burners, I want to turn this burner down, and I want to turn that burner down so I have enough gas. And since I have the heat up, I'm just going to move the pressure cooker on this side here, and it'll be okay. So I've got heat, and the pressure cooker won't fall off or anything like that. Or I can change burners, which is another option. Hold on a second here. Which is another option. I can change. There we go. There, now we're safe. And then I can cook on here, like that. I can get the heat conduction rings on there. Got the heat already on this one, and I'm going to get heat on this one. Just like that. I love these pears. These are the canning pears, as I said before, and these are the select variety. They're not really good for eating or something like that. I eat them anyway, but they're more for canning. And no supermarket will buy those pears, and I have 6 trees, 6 actually very large trees like that, and a lot of it I just use to feed my animals, or I eat them myself. So we'll wait for that to get high at the temperature. Very important that you're trying, when you're canning, keep things clean, keep things neat and tidy. Right? This I just washed this morning. This is a clean towel. So use everything clean, clean, clean. The cleaner you are when you're canning, the less problems you're going to have later on, and your food is going to turn out okay. It's just one little itty bitty piece of bacteria or something will make all your canning go foul. So what I want to do is I want to get onto these pears here now. And because I have the bottleneck tops on these jars, these ones here, I have the bottleneck tops. I have to cut. Unfortunately, I have to spend some time and do some cutting and stuff like that. But that's all good and okay. So they fit in properly. It's a little brown, but it's okay. It's still edible. And these ones are really nice when they get like that. They make like a really nice pear compote, as the Austrians say, Birnen compote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do some mashup here, and then take some green pears and then take some really ripe pears and mix them all together. And then see what I can make up. I don't want to burn that, keep the heat down. See that pear? See that? See, that's a lovely looking pear. See on that? Whoa. Hold on a second, I'm trying to get because it's running off of battery. I hate to redo a video and then I'm on battery, low on battery. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'm gonna be saved here or what? I'm gonna be saved. No. Okay. Here we go. Wash my hands again. Wash your hands with vinegar or some disinfectant. You don't want to be touching something again, or change gloves or whatever. Keep your hands clean. That's what I want. I want steamed glassy jars. So turn that guy off. That's fine. Just the pressure cooker keeps everything nice and hot and steamy, and then that's fine. And probably turn the heat back up because I don't think I don't want to change gas bottles. Changing gas bottles takes about 5 minutes. So. And I want to get rid of this really ripe fruit that's sitting here on my counter. So, last thing I want to see is any bug or ant or something getting into my fruit. Not going to have a nice morning when I wake up and I come in here and I see bugs or something on my counter because there's pieces of ripe fruit laying around, slipping away at the nice sugars. The chickens are gonna see. The chickens are here now, and they know I'm doing something in the kitchen. They can smell something's cooking or something's happening. They're gonna love pecking away. I got a whole tree of fruit scraps. There he goes. 6 o'clock bell. Chickens, I think they seem to know exactly within half an hour, or sometimes, yeah, I would say about 10 minutes, what time of day it is. And they will, sometimes within 10 minutes of each other. I had a really good rooster, he got eaten. That means they want something delicious to eat right now. And the grain and from the hay and everything is just not cutting it. Well, you guys are going to have to wait. You guys are going to have to wait. So the nice thing about these jars is that I can actually put the jars in the pressure cooker because I have the metal lids this time. The last time I had the plastic lids, and the ones with the plastic lids you cannot move. Like once when you do the jars, you cannot move those jars, right? And that's the one thing that I don't like about the plastic lids is if you move the jar or any situation or anything or other, there's a 50% chance that actually the food will go bad. So it has to sit there for 1 year on the same spot. And don't move the jar for some reason because the plastic lids don't seal properly. So if you disturb the seal, yeah, then it's going to go bad. So by moving it or hitting the shelf or anything like that, or just a little bit of vibration or a little knock or a little ting, the plastic lids won't seal properly. Oh, that pectin. No, I haven't had that marmalade. No, these apricots. Oh, the smell is so good right now. So what I want to do is I want to really cook this down really good. I kind of don't eat a lot of apricots now because it's hot out. I mostly eat cucumbers and melons and things like that. So I have some pectin here, which is 3:1. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to add the pectin now to this because it's coming up to boil. And what I didn't use last time, and it's kind of sitting on the prayer a little bit, is fruit preserve. I don't like to add chemicals to my food and stuff like that, but it's better than getting botulism or some type of bacteria. So if you find anything that's a fruit preserve or something like that, and this is like Fruitel. Fructoso. So this is Fructoso. Fruit sucrose, yeah, this is the one I want. And I want to get a spoon here because I don't want to put too many chemicals in my body. I want to get a clean spoon. I'm not going to use any spoon, I'm just going to go give it a good swig. Like that. And the lid back on that guy. And I want to give it a little bit more of the brown sugar, the cane sugar. I have here. Let me just see if I open up. Give that a little bit of stir in. So when I make my jam, I like to have my jam fruity. I don't like to have it really mushed. Like you're just eating orange or something like that that looks like orange and you see like fruit pieces. I like to have really big chunky fruit pieces. So it's all a matter of what type of jam. Like I like to be looking at real fruit. Like if it's an apricot, I like to be sort of looking at like a half a piece or a quarter piece of apricot when I make my jam. That's how I like it. You can put your fruit through a blender or a juicer, and you can make just straight pure jelly if you want to do that. But this way, this is the fastest way and the best way because when you pick the fruit and everything like that, you want to get it as canned as soon as possible, and then get it on the cooker as soon as possible, right? Within a couple hours time. Let's see if I have, no, I went and bought more sugar, so I'm okay. Just checking, I don't want to open up another box of sugar and then I have sugar in a container. The prices in the Adriatic here, surprising that a lot of this stuff comes with the ships and the boats and everything. is pretty neat because the prices here are really good. 185 euros for this. So it's a lot cheaper than in Canada or in the States. But a lot of the stuff are from local farmers. So, I got some garbage. Put this there. So if you're using measuring cups or spoons in your canning, then yeah, you can get, like, if there's any bacteria, you have to sterilize everything. So the best way I do it is I just do everything by feel, and I get a lot of sugar, or, you know, and then that way I don't disturb the natural process of canning, right? Depends on how sweet you want your jam. I like my jam super sweet, so that should be enough sugar. And you want to get it really good stirred in and dissolve. So you want to dissolve the sugar. If you don't dissolve the sugar, it'll start to ferment later on. You'll have a double fermentation, and then that's not good. But if the sugar is totally dissolved, then you won't have any double fermentation then later on. And that's another thing. But if you leave a little bit of sugar behind, it's okay too if you like to have double fermentation, because it'll ferment and it'll be a probiotic, and then probiotics are okay. It's okay to eat fermented fruit. There's nothing wrong with eating fermented fruit. It just tastes a little bit funny, but it's really good and healthy for your stomach. It restores all the healthy bacteria that the antibiotics kill. So if you've been on antibiotics, then I say eat fermented fruit or some type of double fermented fruit, or kombucha or something like that. We're going to get our jars here ready. This is ready. The pressure cooker. I'm going to get some clean hand cloths. I'm going to do this really quick, and then give these guys a quick rinse in the vinegar water. Can't do that right now. I'm gonna get some more glass jars out. Be careful so you don't burn yourself because the glass is hot. And that's why I like actually wearing gloves when I'm canning, because you don't, the rubber kind of protects you from burning your hands. Ooh, come on. Ooh. It's filled with hot water. That's okay, I got lots of hot towels here. Got lots of clean towels. This one, from here. Ooh. Hot, 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 hot. There we go. So that's perfect. When they're hot like that, and give these guys a little wash in the vinegar water. So give these guys a real wash. Little spring water. Turn this guy off because he's going to blow over. He's ready. So there we go. And we get some vinegar for the lids. I'm running out of counter space here for a minute. do, this is so hot. I wish I had one of those strainer things. And move this off to the side. Or something. I don't want to get this too dirty. That's clean. So like that, just here, like that, that'll work now. Then I'll look for my fingers. Oh, it still isn't working too good. Oh, there we go. Back in the hot water, because this time we have the glass, and let that soak in the hot water there, and then these ones will calm down. The lids will come down, put them on nice and tight. See, the lid already went down. So that's a good sign. When it's nice and hot, then the lids go down, then you're safe. Next one, gotta find a matching lid. Oh, that's a better method now. I need another towel or a clean towel. Vinegar on the lid. And into hot water pressure cooker. That's fine. The lid went down there too. So that's good. We're all good here. And that. Whoa. It's going better now. I don't need the cloth. It's kind of, ouch. Oops. Stuff will happen. Can't use that cloth now. That cloth is done. Use another one. So, this guy right here, he's clean. Vinegar on the lid. Next one. Some vinegar on the lid. Nothing like a good batch of vinegar around the rim and the lid, because you don't want to get any type of bacteria at all. And give it a good wipe with a clean towel or cloth. There. Trying to do this as fast as you can, because when this starts cooling off, you want to get a really good temperature on it. You don't want it to be cooled off already. So it's not very good if you end up with half a jar and you're out of canning juice. You can get some from the fridge. I always keep a jar of canning juice around, just in case, for emergencies, in case. Yeah, it's still good. In case I run out. So that's all good. Add a little bit of spring water to that. Just enough so I can fill up the last one. And I get a little bit of heat on this. Get my burner going again. This is this pickling, this serrage pickling. I really like this a lot because you can also drink it too. You can just and drinking cloves and cinnamon and things like that. So it's very healthy for you. Just drinking regular natural herbs and everything, it's really healthy. And I'm gonna change my gloves because they're full of gawky fruit. So when you're making the jam, depends on what type of pectin or what type of pectin you buy or anything like that. It all depends on, on what type of consistency you like, right? I don't like a total hard consistency of jam. I kind of like it so I can spread it. I don't use butter ever. I use extra virgin olive oil. So I kind of like to make it like make it really saucy jam. what I can do for this one, because I got the metal lids, I can put the burner on here for this one. I need hot water right now. This guy's gonna have to cook. So I need my lid. Use this one right here. And then this clove juice also, the pickling juice which I just added, is a good way to sterilize and clean out for your next batch. Because you don't want to be really cleaning from your kitchen sink anything at all. You want to use this pickling juice to clean off all your, or vinegar, which I'm doing right now. So. So now I just want to bring this back here, and then I want to add this to here. And I need some vinegar. And that's my first batch. Now, you've got to be careful when these are under pressure. You don't want to bring the heat up at all too high. You want to put it on a low heat, and you just want to get them hot again, right? Once when they're hot, then that's okay. And I got this clove juice here. I can actually use this again. There's a little bit. There's a tiny bit of clove juice in the bottom here, and I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to make that with my pears. Kind of a little bit of apricot pear, which is really cool. So I'm going to add this now. Right here, I'm going to add my pears, same as before, and I'm going to keep cutting. My heat is off there. My heat is on here, and I'm going to keep cutting pears now. I'm going to bring my pot over here again. This, whoa, it's hot. So I'm going to put the board over here for now. And I want to make some more pears in the pot. In my pear and a small amount of apricot juice mashup. So I'm doing pear mashup today. I'm kind of reluctant. If it falls in the countertop, I say don't use it, because that's, you know, that's the thing. So you got to be careful what you're doing, how you're doing it. Goes to the chickens. I want to get rid of these pears here. So these ones, these canning pears, I want to get as many in there as I can, and just use a little bit left for the mashup. You gotta cut smaller pieces because these bottleneck glass jars are not the greatest. Seed goes back over here. I don't need them anymore. I was hoping to have my root cellar, my shelving done and stuff, but back in April and everything would happen this year. I don't think I'm going to get around to doing the shelving until my fall harvest comes around, my potatoes and onions and garlic. So I think I'll have my shelving in by then. I'll do that now. It's just there's too many things going on right now in my vegetable garden and that, and it's just me here. You know, if there was another person here, and that we would have a lot more, I would have a lot more things then. Make sure your fruit is clean and washed always, right? Normally I put something in the fridge like these ones, I pre-wash them. You can wash them again, you can wash. But the only thing is when you wash fruit, then they lose their something to do with it. It's just not the same. Every time you keep washing fruit, they lose their taste and everything. It doesn't taste as good, and it kind of gets brown and they kind of get yucky and everything like that. So maybe it's something to do with the fluoride or the chlorine in the water or something like that. And don't mind the noise in the background if you hear that humming or whatever. That's just the wind generator. I put my wind generator on the house because it was the best place to anchor it. But when that thing is running, I have 500 watts of power going. So, and right now in my house I have this lamp, this light, this kitchen light from IKEA, and my fridge running, and my ceiling fan. So I'm under 1,000 watts, and I'm putting 1,500 or 1,600 watts back into the electrical company. So roughly I'm using about, the fridge is about 450 watts, or 400 watts. Then this light I would say is about 100 watts. And then what else? The ceiling fan is another 60 watts. So 760 watts I'm using, and I have electrical power. So that's why I want to do this, because the sun is kind of setting right now, or it's kind of dusk. It's not really late right now, but be careful not to break any of these glasses here. So I have some extra lighting power, because when it turns black, the only thing I really run in my house is the fridge and the 12-volt power light here, the ceiling light, and then that's about €450 a month with the grid that I have, which is good. Now I have the chicken incubator is running too now, so that's why I also did the 100-watt upgrade last week. And the electric fence, so that's another thing too. All good. I need some sweet pears. These pears here, these pears are not very sweet. They're kind of like, they really crackle, but these ones are sweet. These are the ones that make the canning sweet, right? So that's why I want to add some of this to the ones that are not, because they're kind of green and stuff. So I think I just have enough of the sweet pears and that to do my second run here. We'll wash you in the morning when the sun shines of my solar power. Good tie. Okay. See if I can get a few more pears in here. I just really want to get as much pears cooked up as possible, really. And get the heat on it right away. Same concept as before. You're going to get some spring water. Just add a little bit now. And then you want to get your pickling spice, a good handful of that. And you want to get, I like the cinnamon, so even though the pickling spice has a little bit of cinnamon, I like the cinnamon and cloves. Just coming from an Austrian background. And then I want to get some of this fructoso. Add a little bit of that. And then the last thing I want to do is bring the heat up and then add the pectin. You don't want to add the pectin right away. So you want to give it a cook and then add the pectin later on. And then also I need is the sugar. A lot of sugar. spring water. On these pears here, the reason why I'm holding back on the pectin, because on the apricots they go quick, but on the pears you're going to have to cook the pears longer actually. You're going to have to cook the pears about twice as long as the apricots to make them go soft. Because these pears are not very soft right now, they're as hard, but they're really crispy and crunchy. Right there. And I just have enough spring water to finish off this run today. I'll put you right there. I'm thirsty, I need a drink of water. I don't have any more of my clove water anymore, so. Grab a book, sit back, relax, enjoy watching the show. It's such a relief to do this, and I have the electrical fence in. I don't know, like last year I would have the chickens locked up and everything because I want the chickens out, right? And I have the 4 dogs, so it's such a relief that I can do canning and in my house and let my farm animals run free, because I couldn't. Last year when I did canning, I cannot let my farm animals run free. Small price to pay when you want things done properly. I'm just going to put it in the sink there. Ice cold water. So this guy touched the ground. We don't want to use this if it keeps spilling around. And we'll wash them tomorrow. I got more towels. Got a whole set of towels here hanging. Clean towels. See, I got a clean towel. Washed with bleach. So these ones are ready. You can turn the heat off. And we're just going to store them on the shelf in the bottom here. So you don't want to shake and move this around too much, right? Like when it comes out, then you want to put it right away on the shelf. And only when you use it, only when you're going to eat it, then bring it out, right? Because as soon as you shake and move it around, there you go. But there you have it, that's done. So we put this on the shelf and very carefully put it on. We don't want to shake or jiggle anything around. And this is apricot jam. We put the lid on this guy here. So that's what that looks like, right? Very nice apricot jam, and this is jam the way you like it. You know how you buy jam in the stores, and it's the jelly and stuff like that. It's very jelly-like, and then you try to spread it, and then all you're spreading is jelly. And I like to spread fruit, I like to spread like a saucy, sort of like tomato sauce, almost like that. That's how I like to spread my cup of jam. So same thing again, we get the vinegar water here, we fill them. Get the heat going on the pressure cooker. Get these all sterilized and clean. We don't want to do that yet. Hold off on that. And clean ones. Where is my cup of vinegar water? Fill the bottom with vinegar water. And Cheetos. And I need any more. I have lots here. Grab some more vinegar water and hot. I can't get it. That's what I call a clean jar. Fill up the ones that I moved it. Get going, get moving. Okay, we're fine. Actually, we don't want the heat We don't want the heat on these glass ones because the glass will crack if it gets too hot. Gotta be careful. You can turn the heat up a little bit on the pears. So the pears are not very ripe. So to make a marmalade, you need very ripe fruit because it's very soft, and then you don't have to wait or cook a long time. So I'm just going to can the pears, and I'm very happy just having a few bottles of apricot marmalade around. And then for the pears, I'm just going to make like a pear compote or something like that. Because I'm not going to wait around, I don't want to be here all night again until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, or getting up at 3 in the morning and doing canning. As long as I can preserve the fruit. And what you can also do, then if the fruit is not ripe or something like that, and you want to still make a jam, you can can it now, and then you can take the jar. You can take as it is, you can make like a compote, and then you can cook it again. So you can take the jar and then cook it again, and then just add pectin to it, and then use half of it to make a jam. So for like 1 week or something like that, you make a jam later on in dead winter. It's just now I want to preserve like the fruit as in the state it is right now. And I don't want to be here like all night. Like there'll be other times when I have time. I'm just pressed for time today, and I'm sort of getting hungry too, because I want to make something to eat, and the dogs want to have something to eat. I love that automatic sprinkler. If you heard that whistling sound, that's the automatic sprinkler for irrigation system. It's not like I have to run outside all the time and do. It's like I'm a one person show here, and I do everything myself. Would be nice to have somebody here though. Give these ones a check so we don't crack the glass at all. Oh, they're steaming nicely. Very nicely and very clean. Getting all sterilized. Just the way I want it. We'll work on the next batch. I want to work on the next batch here. Kind of, sort of. So then you get some vinegar. Give it a little dose of vinegar. Clean everything down. Okay, now we get some more pears. Last thing I want to do is have a canning hangover and be up all night doing this. But it's worth every single cent. If you do this properly, and it's dead winter and it's freezing cold, and you want to make something with potatoes and onions, and I don't know, make something with potatoes and beans, and you have a really nice compote on the side, and it's freezing cold outside, and you're going outside and you're cutting wood and things like that. Just having this fruit, because wintertime you don't have this fruit. Well, at least I don't, where I live. It's very hard for me to get fruit, or even fresh fruit, unless I buy it from the supermarket, which I don't really like. So I do it now, and then I have fresh fruit all winter. Or I have fruit all winter. It's not fresh anymore, it's canned. That's a really good pear. That's ready for the store. Organic, not sprayed. Really keep an eye on this so I don't burn things. Give that a stir. So once when you get it up to a boil and it's cooking, then you can add your pectin. Give it a stir in. Make sure you really stir the sugar and the pectin in well. I just have enough jars today. On the thing there, on the other dresser, there's a whole bunch of jars. And I just have enough to do my winter supply. I thought I didn't have enough. Been kind of eating tomato sauce in the last 2 weeks. Been eating these tomato sauce things for 2 weeks. And I was able to down another 5 of them, so, because they're only 48 cents each. Unless I go to the mason jars, unless I go to the mason, then they're like $5 or something off the internet from Amazon. And for 1 jar or something like that, and then they can crack and all this. The jars were given to me, they belonged to my grandma or my mom. So, kind of like, I wish I had more of the mason canning jars, but that's all I have. Getting hot in here. It's 35 Celsius today. Oh no, those dogs are back again. I hope not. Hold on one sec. Lucky, keep watch, okay? Keep watch. You're doing a good job. Keep watch. What's going on? Keep watch. No, you're gonna stay outside. All you dogs, keep watching my place. Thank you. Dogs are wondering, they smell the pectin juice. They're wondering what's going on. Canning pears today. And they're going to the right spot. So when the pears are sort of a golden brown, then it's ready. I hope I don't knock this down. Kind of using up all my counter space today for everything. So these guys are ready. Let's bring this off. What we'll do, just leave that in there. See what we get. Get a canning run in here now. This guy over, see if we can get this guy in the middle. Nope, we can't. I don't want to knock it off. Like that. That's good. So, okay. So that's fine. And they will, if they're hot, they will continue. If it's fruit, they will continue to cook. So it all depends on what type of consistency you like and what you're really going for. I like to have like a fruity type of jam, right, with fruit on top sort of thing. All depends on what you like. So I'll show you. If you come here and take a look, and then I'll show you what you're aiming and getting at. So that's what you're aiming at getting at. You know, should be a nice brown, sort of golden brown in color. And then you won't have a lot of problems, but that's done. You can cook it down farther, you know, until you have a nice, just a plain jelly-like substance. But the pectin, it'll start to work in, like I said, like 10 minutes. And then you can start canning already. So simple and easy how the factories do it. They do thousands of jars a day. And this is the old-fashioned way of doing it. The reason why I take this out, if the glass gets too hot and you put hot into hot, the glass may crack and then you're going to have a big mess. So you want to bring the glass temperature down just a little bit because this is boiling hot now. Nice hot towel. Good on your face. I can't pick that up, it's too hot. I have one of those canning tongs. This is like twice a year for me. So if I was canning a couple hundred jars or something, I'll probably get the full kit. I gotta be very careful here now. Did this last year and I ended up using a jar. So this way I just grab the jars now and I start canning again. There we go. Turn the heat off. Okay, and I need my ladle again. Keep things clean. Put some vinegar on it. Hot, hot, hot. And it's too hot for me. hate to have my back turned to the camera, but it's probably the best way to do things. I'm trying to keep myself safe from burning my hands here. Oh, that hurts. I need some cold water right now. Lucky I have rubber gloves today to burn my fingers. I burned my thumb just now. Thank God I got gloves. Okay. Be nice to me. Lid. I need a nice lid. A little bit of swish and some vinegar water. Some vinegar on the lid. Number one done. And the other way, I could wear one of my mittens, which I have, and washed. So it'll be good. I wear my mitten here. Oh, I'm not going to wear that mitten. Dirty and windy. Oh boy. Keep going, Tony. Make it through doing there. Wash. Vinegar. Goes on. Now if you don't have any clove water, you can just keep cooking the pears, because it doesn't matter, as long as you'll end up with maybe a jar or something with some soft pears. That's fine, and you just kind of get that. Then you don't take it from the bottom anymore. You just take it from the top, and then you end up with one that's like pure jelly, basically. And then to thin it back out, you can add spring water to it, and then you can have a compote. Just going to be able to fill this one up with juice water here. That's perfect. You could eat that for dinner. That would be perfectly fine. Eat that for dinner right now. Some potatoes on the side, an egg, some zucchini from my neighbor, some tomatoes. I got zucchini coming. Said I plant it later on because I like to have zucchini in late August, September. So I don't like to have squash or zucchini until before fall or after fall or dead winter. Right? There we go. So we're 4. And I need to make some more pears now. I can get the pressure cooker going actually on that one because I need to cook. I just need to cook this for a few minutes, for about 10 minutes, just to sterilize it again from any bacteria or anything like that. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, all depending on how much you want to sterilize more. And I don't like it with the jars here either. Oh. So we're going to move the things around a bit. Otherwise I'm going to burn my board. I have a little glass of water. Jars are sterilized now. Move this away. This away. We're going to get some heat up. And here's the board. Put this over here. So, and get the heat up. Again. Just keep the heat on low. This in here. pears ready. So I'm not going to be able to do a full mashup. I may have some with it's going to be like kind of a sour. It's going to be kind of like a sour pear compote, which is okay. I just put more sugar in it. So, that's the one I don't want right now, at all. There we go. Whoa. Turn the heat off there. Maybe sterilize around. What do you get when you get neighbors' pears? Sometimes they have used pesticides in the past, and then you know because it's got bugs on it, and the bugs have become resistant to the pesticides. So crunchy and crisp. Look at that. Look at that. Mmm. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the pot here on the counter. That's pretty good. Like there. Pot is kind of cooled off a little bit. I used to have a wood countertop. Put it to good use. Wood from my property. I cut this smaller, and then I noticed the last time I cut it smaller, and it goes in better. Ooh, it's really cooled down now from the 35 Celsius heat. It's like 30 Celsius in my house. Last of the pears. I went and checked this pear tree, which I've been eating this pear tree off. There's only like a dozen pears left on that tree, so this is the last of the pears. And then we go back to figs. Then I go back to eating figs. And yeah, that's about it. So there's a little bit of a break here now for maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Or there's pears. There's actually more pears. Not for me, but for my neighbors. So, that one's ready to go. If I did it in a bigger pot, I do have a bigger pot down here, which actually would go better, but I like cooking in the titanium. So, use this big pot here and reverse the whole thing. Okay. 2 hours and some 19 minutes and seconds. At your own pace. Don't kill yourself. Just a little bit of spring water. same thing again. Handful of this Indian pickling spice. And cinnamon. A lot of sugar. And we got the fruit and the fructose. Spring water. Drench it with spring water. Get it all washed in there good. And add the pectin in later when it boils. Okay. I need, this guy is ready. I'm going to turn the heat up a bit on this. Yeah, these guys are ready. Nice and clean too. Let's have a clean towel. So, should never bang it on the countertop because you can disturb the natural canning vibrations. So, lucky it didn't pop on me there. It didn't pop, so that's fine. So that's what that should look like. Well, that's what that looks like. It's perfectly fine. Nice golden brown, consistent. That goes on the shelf. I need another towel or something that's hot. Uh-oh, we got a problem. I got two more to take out sometime. I'm gonna go check my dogs. Uh-oh. I hope those wild dogs didn't make it in here. Okay. Okay, Lucky's coming, so I'll be back in a sec. Love my dogs, they take care of things nicely. So, we're into 2 hours and 25 minutes and 40 seconds of the canning. This can go to my chickens now. I gotta call my chickens. I'm just looking. Oh, and this one will be the Christmas. This one will be like the glue wine. Will be the Christmas one. So we'll run, I think, 4 for the holiday season. And I'll just add the glue wine one now, which is nice. But with the orange peel in it, I add 2 bags of that. Maybe 1 bag is enough. I think 1 bag. I'm not much of a glue wine person. I'm kind of a little bit of glue wine person. It's all a matter of just I can make some more glue wine at Christmas time, and then if I'm not satisfied, I can do it like this, and then have the glue wine fruit. So I'm just gonna kind of hold back on this one for a sec. But I think 1 bag, tea bag, is enough to make a glue wine. So we'll put that guy in here. Box. We have 1 glue wine for Christmas, or 2, so that will be fine. And I can make like a glue wine fruit thing. I think it would be too much glue wine, too much hot mulled wine if I did it with 2 tea bags. And I would really have like a hot mulled wine fruit instead of just having a compote, which I'm more against. But I like the Christmas thing of the glue wine a little bit. That would be nice. So I'm going to give this to my chickens. I need to call my chickens. I'll be back in a sec. And that compote there should heat up really nicely. Can't stay too long away from the stove, but they love it. They're just eating all the pears right now. And they like to eat, the animals, they don't really like to eat sour fruit. They like to eat sweet fruit, or that fruit that is already overripe and brown. So they're eating it right now. You can add anything to this you like, especially if it's pears. You could add like thiamine, you could add like herbal tea, or anything like that. All this is just a matter of preference on what you want to spice and have in dead winter. This is something I know I'm going to eat for the 1 or 2 days that it does snow here in my house. And inside my house, it's not very warm because I don't have insulation. So I will eat something like this glue wine compote, which is nice. Okay, so I need a can. Nope, I need to sterilize some more jars, I think. Or, well, I need to cook up some more jars. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's enough of this. I don't want to make too many jars and clog up my countertop. Turn up what's going on. Need to turn up the heat here. Hopefully I get through this and I run out of jars. Then I'm just going to eat the pears as they are, which will be okay. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. I need to take care of something. Okay, back to cooking here. I don't think I can add more water to that, more spring water. So I'm gonna have to wait here. Hold off and wait on everything. And then this is when you need a pressure cooker because you have to bring the bottles up to heat. Oh. I'm just gonna hold off on that call. call back later. Making a video right now. Okay, so I think you sort of get the gist of things. I wanted to show on how about canning pears today, because we're at 2 hours. I'm going to be here for another 2 hours possibly. I don't want to take up too much video time. But anyways, this would be great. You know, if you got already the idea of everything and how I can my pears, and I make jam or I make compote and all of that. So if you hold on a second, and if you have any questions or you want to send any comments, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It's Tony Alatti Casa Esmeralda, and thank you very much for those who have liked and subscribed, and take care and bye for now and have a nice day.